this little red fox today. The way this lays out, there's a field run down here. You can probably hear the highway running in the background. This field runs down, and there's cattle. It runs up and around up in the top of the woods here. And all it is, it's real steep behind me, and it's real rocky. And what these things will do is they're not going to want to run the side of that mountain. What they're going to do is run up the side of this field, up here and mosey around these stumps and whatnot. And the reason why I picked this is because it's a pinch point for everything coming and going. There's a big cow trail going in up here, but I picked this spot here because there's a trail going in right here, and I got another trap set just over there because of the big main highway going up into the woods. But I've had this trap set here for a week, about a week and a half I'd say, and it was just a plain dirt hole, had the one rock as the backing, and I had it kept getting robbed. It kept getting robbed. This fox kept marking it as his own. And what I did yesterday is I came back in here and reset everything after the big freeze. I put that rock beside of it to where he had a smaller, narrow passageway going into the hole. That's all I done, and it connected. But God, that's a big fox. But all right, I'll take care of this guy, and I'll show you all the remake. All right, guys, we got him taken care of. And the first thing you want to do after you dispatch one, whether it be a fox, coyote, whatever, is you're going to have blood all over the place. What you want to do is come in and get rid of all that blood. The first thing you want to do is just take it, sift it up, do whatever, and get it away from your catch circle. It doesn't have to be far. Just get it out of your catch circle. Some people will tell you otherwise. I think it helps. But don't listen to me. Don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. If it works, it works. It works for me, so I'm going to do it. And that's how I look at it. I want to come in and get as much of that out of here as possible. It doesn't have to be completely gone, but the more you get away, the better off you're going to be. I never picked up on this, or never told you why. A lot of people use a pad or whatever. As long as you use something, as that way you're not getting your clothing sitting on the ground, the better off you're going to be. You're going to come in here like this, and you're going to see a little blood on the trap. You take some dirt, take some whatever, and just get it off there. You want to get that off there. Get it off there the best that you can. I'll reuse that. But anytime you catch something, you want to come back in and make sure your trap's working proper. You want to make sure that your pan's sitting level again. Look at it like that. It's sitting pretty level. So, go ahead and fire that. But we're going to try to move through today pretty quick. Got a lot of ground to cover today. I want to get a lot of sets in the ground. It's time for me to start picking it up. I'm way behind compared to last year, which numbers don't really matter to me. I'm not looking to get rid of everything, because you want to save some for next year. You don't want to catch out everything out of your area. You do want to save some stuff. But come back in here with my drill. My dirt hole didn't get walled out too much. Right there's good, I believe. Alright. Like that. We'll save a lot of that stuff to sift back over top of the trap. There's a little prize he left us. I think that was already on top of that rock to begin with. I think that's where he marked it. Take that, get it out of the way. But whenever you're trapping a fox, in my opinion, you want to have your trap bedded a little closer to the hole than you would as if you were targeting coyotes. I don't know. Well, I do know. That's how it works for me. I like to bed that trap right up against the hole as close as I can. But with it being as cold as it was the last few days, I came back in here yesterday just to use regular old table salt. You don't want to use the iodized. Go in and use non-iodized table salt and just throw it in the hole. Or I'll show you. Don't throw it in the hole. But with these freezing temperatures the way it's been, you want to, in the bottom of your trap bed, just put a thin layer of salt. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. Go with a little bit of salt, a little bit of peat moss, a little bit of dry peat moss. Just go in like so. Let your trap find where your levers are going to be. Hammer it down a little bit. You don't have to do it, but it helps me. It might help you. Bedding with peat moss, it's hard to get a solid trap or a solid bed. And this is how I do it. Just push that down in there. And something that you want to do when you're bedding with peat moss is once you get the trap about where you want it, take a big handful, flip your jaw up, throw all that handful right where that loose jaw is going to go. That way, whenever you go to flip the jaw back, push down on this side and push down over here, and if your trap bed's right, it's going to push that peat moss into the ground, into the dirt, and that way it's going to be a little tighter feel. You can go ahead and tap it. It's still going to move a little bit. Just come with a little more peat moss. Do the same thing. Just push down on the sides, push down, make it a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, and you'll get there. But every time you put a little bit of peat moss in it, throw a little bit of salt on it. Not much. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. People might say the smell of salt will affect the canine senses. Well, you see what I caught last night. So you can take that for what it's worth. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself, see if it works. You don't want to do, well, I mean, you can, but you want to find what works for you. You don't want to just copy somebody else's technique. Find what works for you in your area. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter trapping. But that trap right there is pretty darn solid, I believe. Yeah, just come back in with a little bit of salt on top, a little more peat moss, just like so. Come in and sit on this stuff on it. I know where my pan's at. If you don't know where your pan's at, find your pan, sit a little bit more over top of it, make a little crevice like so. Come back in here. Might want to throw a stick right here, sift some dirt on top of that, make it look like it's been there a little bit. Alright. Now, this is the way my trap was set before. It was just, had a big rock right here, had one hole going in, and that's it. And what them fox were doing, they were coming in from the sides. Even though they only got that much room, they were coming in from the side and somehow getting my bait out of the bottom of that hole. But what I've done is I took a rock. Just take your rock, any old rock, throw it right beside of it. Now this might shy away a coyote, but it will not shy away a fox. In my case, it did not shy away this fox. But that right there is all I've done. In that low spot right there, just make it a little bit lower than everything else in the trap bed. Make you a little lip right here, because them fox, coyote, whatever is not going to want to step on that. And by you throwing these sticks around the side, whatever the case may be, a coyote or a fox will not want to try to step on that. But that right there is a set. That right there is the set. Come in and just kind of smooth everything out. And that's it. That's it as far as that goes. Now, all we're going to do is throw a little bit of bait in the hole. We're not going to worry about luring it, because that fox has provided us enough lure to last us a few days. So, all I'm going to do is throw a little bit of bait in the hole, shove that in as far as it can go. That's it. That is all we're going to do. And any little bit of blood spatter, blood places that we can see around here, we're going to get rid of before we move on to the next step. Something else I might like to add is your own boot tracks in the set. Before you leave, like all these flat places where my bag has been sitting, where I've been standing, whatever, just come in and rough it up. I think that a coyote or a fox will see that and think, hey, something ain't right. Especially with the perfect circle of a bucket or a big flat spot from a bag. But, alright guys, that's it. We're gonna get on down the line and see if we have any more luck. But, alright, stick with me. Morning guys. We're out here on the same farm I caught one red fox up in the corner of this field a couple of days ago. It was a big male, and I came through here checking his set skin today, and look what I got. What's up, another red. I'm not really targeting red fox. I personally don't think there's that very many of them around here. So I'm gonna let this guy go, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do it with a catch pole that I made for like $5. So. All right, once you get him by the head like that, make sure you pull down on it. Not too tight because you don't want to hurt him. Grab him up by the tail, so keep his head pushed away from you. Step on the levers. Pull him out. Just like that. Let it go. Alright guys, there he is. I'll just let him go and we'll go on, hopefully catch him again. I don't know if y'all can see him going right up the side of the mountain up there, but he's fine. Absolutely fine.